And fellow riders, warm welcome to Horse Talk. And the topic for this Horse Talk is it possible to dance with horses? And what step to take to get there? So let me know in the comments below if you are here and if you are ready to dance with your horse. Sounds like magic, right? But it is actually very, very possible and it's not that hard at all. And in this live, I thought I'd give you like the three main steps you need to be able to do this. And I think the first thing we need to be aware of if we want to dance with our horse is we need to be aware of our own body language. And surprisingly, very many of us humans, we are not so aware of our own body language and what we are actually saying to the horse with our body language. So that is number one. I think we need to know if we are stepping forwards or if we are stepping backwards or if we are stepping sideways, because those are kind of the dance steps we then need to use when dancing with our horse. And this needs to be in some kind of conjunction with the horse's drive line. Yes, because horses and sheep and cows and deer and mooses, basically all prey animals, they have a drive line. So if we step in front of it, we are stopping the animal, in this case, the horse. And if we step behind it, we are driving the horse. So if we attempt to dance with our horse and we accidentally step in front of the drive line, the horse is going to stop, right? Or if we step too far behind the drive line, actually, and we end up over here, we are going to, push their hind end outwards and get the horse towards us. Lots of stuff like this. So in many cases, it's just like a few centimeters difference makes a huge difference if we are in a driving position or if we are in a, basically stopping the horse. So let me know in the comments below if you have tried to communicate with your horse through body language. Yes, and let me know how it went. I think for most of us, when we start doing this, we are going to make mistakes. That's just how it is. And the horse is going to mirror our mistakes. So I think in addition to understanding our own body language and what it means to the horse and where the drive line is, we also need to understand that the horse is going to mirror us in a way. So if the horse is doing something that we didn't intend the horse to do, then it is very likely that we have either accidentally stepped in front of the drive line or behind the drive line or gone sideways or backwards or done something that we maybe didn't notice, but the horse noticed. And if we continue practicing and failing, the horse is actually going to get confused. It's okay if we, mess it up a couple of times, no damage done. But if we continue messing this up and giving conflicting signals, it's basically going to ruin our communication with the horse. So what I have found is the best way to learn this is to actually practice on other human beings first. And there's a great video series about this inside the Ride Like a Viking members. I think it's called How to Communicate with Horses of Body Language and Common Pitfalls to Avoid. And if you watch those videos, you are going to have a step-by-step path to success with communicating with body language with your horse without ruining your horse, so that you are all set for success. Yes, so let me know in the comments below if you have tried to communicate with another human as if that human was a horse of your body language and experienced like the drive and the draw and how much difference it makes just stepping a little bit, you know, in front or a little bit behind the drive line, or if we step sideways or backwards and all that stuff. Let me know, because that's the first step to success. And I think the second step to success, if we really want to dance with our horses, is of course to connect with our horse. And this is actually scientifically proven that all creatures on this planet have something called mirror neurons. So birds have it, fishes have it, mammals have it. Everyone has them. And it's basically some kind of neurons that fire off when we feel connected to other beings and we start basically doing the same as the ones we are connected with. And this is, most apparent, among the same species. Like humans, they start mirroring each other. If one human is sitting like this, others tend to tune in. But if one human is like all excited and go like, yeah, 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 others get excited too, and straighten up and start, becoming a bit energetic. So we affect each other. And we start, walking in the same rhythm and space and pace when we are walking together, stuff like that. But this can happen between species as well. So this can happen between the human and the horse, or between a human and a dog, or between humans and apes. Like when the connection is there, we start mirroring each other, even though we're not the same species. And this can, of course, also happen with horses. And they are very much prone to these mirror neurons, because if you've seen horses run together, they often end up running in the same speed and the same pace, just by being together. It's like the rhythm is contagious between them. But we need to get this going between ourselves and the horse as well. So we need this connection to be there. And since I listened in or watched Brené Brown's video series, Atlas of the Heart, I learned a whole lot about how to connect with other beings. And she said something very, very profound. And she said that control is the opposite of connection. So if we are controlling someone, we are not going to connect with them. So these mirror neurons are not going to start firing off if we try to control someone to do the same as we do. And guess what's going on in the horse world? It's control everywhere. It's so common to control a horse that people are not even noticing that they're doing it. It starts from the minute we interact with them. If we are not aware of it, our hands tend to kind of move towards the horse's face and go like, no, don't go so fast. No, don't go there. No. Or we make sure the horse is standing still while we're mounting, stuff like that. We do it with our hands without even thinking about it. So actually the best way to build this connection with the horse is to stop controlling them and start communicating with them instead. And then once the connection is there, these mirror neurons are going to fire off and the horse is going to walk in the same pace as we do. And we can also sometimes walk in the same pace as the horse does. Doesn't really always matter, but I think that's how it's quite easy to, get the horse to step backwards when we step backwards, or get the horse to move faster when we move faster, because we have built this connection and we have communicated with them through body language and not control. And again, there's a lot of videos about how to go about this in Ride Like a Viking members. And the videos are very practical. It's like how to get your horse to go backwards, how to get your horse to run when you run, stuff like that. But now we are, going to dance with these horses. So we're going to take it to the next level. Yes. And when it comes to that, I think I have some kind of clues on how to get there, but I don't have the recipe yet, and I don't have the videos yet, but I have the basics. And I think when the basics are good, it's very easy to add on good basics. But if the basics aren't good, if we are controlling our horse and we don't know how to communicate with them through body language and we don't know how the drive line works, it's going to be very hard. But my point here is that I think this dancing needs to be maybe a little bit more intuitive than practical. And myself and fellow Ride Like a Viking members and trainers, we are actually going to learn about this in France next weekend. Can you imagine? Because we are going to one of our fellow members, and she's also a certified trainer, horse farm in France, and she knows a shaman trained dancer who is dancing with horses. And he has danced with Pauline's horses before, and she says that through this intuitive dance that he's doing, the horses, they get inspired to move too. And I'm looking very much forward to experience it and learn it, because I think once we know the basics, if we then start moving intuitively and not so kind of planned, this is possible. Yes. So the last step, I might need to report back after the Ride Like a Viking gathering in Dordogne, which is the next weekend. So let me know in the comments if you are joining too. There were limited seats, of course, to this event, and to be able to join, you of course needed to be a member and also sign up before the deadline. But if you're not able to make it there, then I will at least do my very best to document some of these exercises and report back to you what I have learned. So let me know in the comments below if you want to dance with your horse and not just communicate with your horse through body language, but take it one level up. Yes, Christine says, I wish I could join. I wish too. But maybe there will be a chance next year. Yes, and I will be sure to take photos and videos and learn as much as I can through this process. And there are other fantastic stuff happening during this weekend as well, because Linda Hoffman, who is a certified saddle fitter and also a centered riding instructor and an academic rider, she has she has said that she can come and teach us about saddle fitting during the first day of the clinic. Because we, of course, we want to take this dancing that we build on the ground with us up into the riding. And we are then connecting feel in the reins, and we connect our leg aid to the hind legs of the horse and do a lot of stuff to make riding pleasant for the horse so that they feel good and move comfortably and control themselves so that we are not controlling them. But all of this is kind of wasted if our saddle isn't fitting. And saddle fitting isn't as easy as it seems. So Linda Hoffman, who is a certified saddle fitter, she's going to bring a whole lot of saddles to the event, and she is going to give us a saddle fitting tutorial, which I'm looking very much forward to. So let me know in the comments below if you have had a saddle fitting journey with your horse, because I think most equestrians have. And I have now almost as many saddles as I have horses, actually. So that's how it goes. But a fitting saddle is very, very important. And it's also, of course, important that the horse is comfortable when saddled. And a recent study found that 68 or 63% of horses showed abnormal behavior when saddled and tacked. So even though our tack is fitting and our saddle is fitting, if the horse has a kind of uncomfortable feeling when tacked, that's also something we're going to bring with us into the riding. Yes, and we can get rid of that, of course, by saddling our horses at liberty and get their consensus. And that's not something we get by putting them in cross ties and putting the saddle on. Yes, and by controlling them. I think we can lose the connection there. So I know many of you are very into riding. And just think, next time you go riding your horse, is what you're doing with your horse, is it based on control or is it based on connection? And if you are among them who are cross-tying your horse to put the saddle on, you can't really know if that horse is comfortable when being saddled or not. And you are basically controlling your horse to stand still from the minute you interact with them. So then maybe the connection might be lost and then the mirror neurons don't work. Yes, so I think that was it for this evening. So we have very many videos inside Ride Like a Viking members who will get you there so that you can start a connection-based journey with your horse and communicate with your horse through body language. And I'm looking forward to the next level, which is then a shaman-inspired journey to France, where I am, of course, going to report back on what I learned from the journey. And I'm looking so much forward to seeing you there as well, if you are joining the gathering in Dordogne. So thank you so much for tuning in this evening, and see you next Wednesday. Okay, bye for now.